Y'all ready for these closing remarks? Because I know I'm about to piss some people off, ruffle some feathers. And I'm going to cut this out. And I'm going to post it on my Facebook. And watch, I don't get a single share. And I'm out here giving y'all Kevin Samuels level of gold. Let's do a recap, shall we? So on this episode, we went over two bitches of whom not only they allowed their boyfriends to beat the children to death, but they helped, they watched, they knew, they hid the crimes and went on with life. All the while collecting the father's child support in both cases. An unnamed 2-year-old little girl and 8-year-old Kendrick Lee. We talked about a mother who saw fit to punish her daughter by making her stand for 3 damn days. She passed out, hit her head. She passed away. Majelic Young, 4 years old. We talked about this hideous human being. Left her child in a hot car after her first child was taken for her doing the exact same shit. Carissa Lewis, 6 months old. We talked about a young boy who didn't even have a chance to experience life, killed by the mom, and his own big brothers helped cover it up, putting him in a cold shower, dying of pneumonia. They tried to burn the body, then just dumped him in the alley. Damari Perry, 6 years old. We talked about a young man stabbed to death and left to decompose under a pile of clothes in a sealed off room. Dominic Allen, 19 years old. We talked about a woman of whom abused and tortured her daughter. She died of blunt force trauma. She put makeup on to hide the bruises, went to the hospital in an effort to play it off, managed to get a MFing plea deal, and will only serve 3 years with the other 7 suspended. 5 years probation. Mackenzie Anderson, 11 months old. Last episode, we did 9 out of 12 stores that was black. 14 total deceased children. This episode, all 7 stories are black children who lost their lives thanks to the actions of their black queen Mother Earth ain't shit mama. I beg the question, is what I be saying harsh now? What I be saying about black women? What I say about women in general? What I say about child support? What I say about the black collective? Ignore my delivery. Does any of that seem harsh now? 2 weeks in a row, I came to you all with nothing but the hurt, the neglect, the pain these children felt up until their utter demise. Our communities are home to some of the worst human beings imaginable. The black woman. Why? Because she raises these same hood rats who can't pick a decent dick if it slapped her in the face. But then they say there's no good men. After she's been ran through by the hood of niggas that ain't shit. She in turn raised that same hood of niggas who see fit to shoot up the block. Because statistics show once you go to jail, you're bound to be back. You know, Jamarquavius, the Pookies, the Ray Rays, the Big Blacks. Y'all know who I'm talking about. We have a lack of fathers in the community. Because remember, y'all say black men don't stick around. Why do you think that is? The black woman. Over time, our women have been raised to become insufferable. Y'all yell to the high heavens to proclaim how you don't need a man. Yet you sit back and see how our communities are turning out. Yet you add to the turmoil. The fathers who stick around, most of you make their lives miserable because you don't give a damn. Why is that? Because of white daddy. The government got y'all backs. The father who walks away but loves and wants to be around their children, gets everything thrown at them. Their child becomes weapons. Why? Because he doesn't want you. The men who just walk away and don't care at all, they get to do just that. Walk away, move on with life, help impregnate the next woman and leave her high and dry too. Because remember, that's how he was raised. By who? Most of you, the single mothers. 52% of men, not our men, of men, period, are unmarried and childless. Ladies, y'all choosing the low-hanging fruit of men. Tell us how you really feel, Prince of Petty, says the person who always has something to say. Oh, trust me, I'm just getting started. Women are the leaders when it comes to child abuse cases and child murder. That's a fact you can look up right now. Come on, bruh. Does any of that seem harsh now? After these stories I just gave you all, are you mad at my words? Or are you mad that these children was wiped off the face of the earth before their lives even began? A lot of women seep through the cracks. White women, black women, whoever. A lot of good women seep through. A lot of women want to see the change, want to see the same change I do. And I acknowledge them. A lot of women believe the child support system is jacked up. I acknowledge them. A lot of women believe children are better off with both biological parents in a nuclear household and so on. I acknowledge them. But see, the problem is the hood rats, the low-hanging fruit outnumber them. And as long as the bad outnumber the good, we're going to continue to get stories like I just did for you all today and the last week's episode. And every other episode I've done. That woman put makeup on her 11-month-old child's body. And she managed to get a plea deal. 3 years in the pen for how she abused and tortured that little girl who couldn't even speak for herself, who couldn't fight back. And she's going to get out, procreate again, and repeat the process. Just like the woman who left her child in a hot car. DCFS took the first kid, she does it again with the new child. This other fool tortured a 4-year-old by making her stand for 3 days. Multiple cases on her, yet she was allowed to procreate and have 8 damn kids in total. What y'all say? The show is Black Hypocrisy. You being a hypocrite. You say all that about black people, but your daughter black. And that's a fair assessment. But understand this. I love black people. I love black women. What I hate are the niggas and the hood rats. There's a difference. See, I'm adult enough to understand we have a problem. And the problem isn't race specific. But due to that problem, that's not race specific, we as blacks, we're out here taking massive L's. Look at all these deceased children. We may have missed out on future community leaders, future cops, future lawyers, future doctors, educators. Come on, man. I don't need to talk about the system here this time. We know about the system at this point. This is for all of you. These children died by the person they thought were here to raise and protect them. These children died by the hands of the number one person they loved. Say their names. That unnamed 2-year-old girl. They didn't put her name out. But Kendrick Lee, Mackenzie Anderson, Majellic Young, Dominic Allen, Carissa Lewis, Damari Perry, and the 14 other children I spoke on last week. Say their names. Y'all can say Breonna Taylor name, an adult. Someone who died doing what she loved, who made her own life choices, chasing behind fast money and thugs. Say their names. You won't. NFL, put their names on the back of your helmets. They won't. NBA, put their names on the back of your jerseys. They won't. Yet black lives are supposed to matter. Hence why I always say black lives only matter when it's convenient. Children are the least protected group in society, and no one cares. This happens to children day in and day out. No one bats an eye. But the moment a cop wrongfully shoots a fleeing felon or wrongfully shoots a known drug dealer, y'all got a problem. Y'all may have never even heard most of these stories until you came to me. You wouldn't have gotten this from CNN because the media don't talk about the children. And when they do, it's scarce. You have to come to me. You got to go to YouTube. You got to go to YouTube and find DJ Just J, the only YouTube channel consistently loving the children of this country and calling for their protection. These women do the most heinous things to children and then want to yell, protect me. Bitch, we the ones need protection from you. I told y'all last episode, women, and I mean all women, because that's how it looks at this point, all women have that abusive chip in their heads. It's just a matter of it staying off or clicking on. And I'm telling you, I'm telling you all men and women who may not know about that chip. If that chip clicks on, anything can happen. Men may be punched in the face or kicked in the nuts, put out the house over a mere disagreement, slammed with child support. Even though he loved and do for the kid, the children become beaten, starved, left in cars and killed, among a plethora of other things, all when that chip clicks into the on position. It's a shame we as men, as fathers, have to walk through society after a failed relationship and pray to God nothing crazy happens to our kids. Then these women, they go to court, they get second-degree murder, manslaughter, assault, 5 and 10-year sentences after wiping a man's child off the planet. Stop and think about that. This won't end. And there's nothing we can do about it but focus on our own homes and love our own children, raise our own, and start the new generation off with some people who can contribute to society. The process starts at home, raising the next generation to just be merely decent people. And over time, we'll see change, though it may not be in our lifetime, but that change will come. This is sad and terrible. I came on here 2 shows in a row in a full podcast format and was able to give you all commentary on the deaths of a total of 21 different children. I told you all I can do this every time and not run out of content. And that's something pathetic to say, but it's true. Talking about these children only furthers my reasoning behind what it is I do, so I can open another person's eyes like mine was opened. To show you all how unjust and sexually biased the system is, like others showed me. To show you all how child support and the courts are used to ruin men and their lives, like I personally experienced. To show men that the majority of women of any race or creed are evil, vindictive, despicable human beings, like we all have seen. There's some great women out here. Some get overlooked, others get wiped up. But rest assured, it's just a matter of that chip clicking on. Y'all can hate my words all you want, but can you prove me wrong? I'm waiting for the things I say to be proven wrong. For every one man murdering his children you can show me, I can show you 4 of women doing the same thing. Let's make this a conversation piece. Don't be the mom in New Orleans allowing your kid to run up on the school bus with a gun, then justify it as self-defense. Because what if she would have aired out that whole school bus? Then what? Or what if she shot herself by mistake? Then what? What if she shot and killed her little brother? He was out there too? Then what? Oh, right. As long as she was allowed to act a damn fool, it's okay to be flustered. Look, y'all, I named this show Black Hypocrisy for a reason. I don't bash women on here. I tell the truth. I don't bash black people on here. I tell the truth. It's up for you all to at least open your eyes and mind to it. You don't have to agree with everything I say, but don't disregard facts. And I'm going to leave y'all with this. There's a reason 52% of men are unmarried and childless. Maybe they've acknowledged what's going on in society. Why can't the women? I'm out.